You're watching the 6:15 primetime newscast in the English language on Canal International. Gladys Sambotibang is my name. We begin with the headlines. President Paul Biya was in Marua in the Far North region today, where he officially reaffirmed his candidacy for the upcoming presidential election as the ruling CPDM party rally support ahead of Sunday's vote. Addressing a large crowd in Marua, the 92-year-old said he still has much to offer Cameroonians and urged the population to turn out and vote in his favor on October 12. And as the presidential campaign amplifies, business in the market also slows down. A sector most affected is that of meat. Most sellers are involuntary due to an increase in the price of cattle, a period that greatly impacts these and other traders in markets. You shall have more in this newscast. And in Douala, employees of the Cameroon Shipyard and Industrial Engineering Limited have staged a protest this morning, dressed in black, demanding over 18 months of unpaid salaries. Their demonstration just days before the presidential election highlights the mounting distress of hundreds of families across Cameroon. Those were top stories. Stay on for development. Hello, and thanks for joining us once again. You can equally watch us live on our social media handles, Facebook and YouTube. We begin with the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, who is in Marua in the Far North region of Cameroon. He has officially affirmed his candidacy for the upcoming presidential election on October 12 as the ruling CPDM party rally support ahead of Sunday's vote. Addressing large crowds in Marua in the Far North region, the 92-year-old said he still has much to offer Cameroonians and urged the population to turn out and vote in his favor on October 12. This marks his bid for an 8th term in office, having first taken power in 1982. And despite his advanced age and growing calls for political transition, the president told supporters that continuity remains vital for Cameroon's development and stability. The Far North region, where today's rally held, has long been a key political battleground and is seen as crucial to securing electoral. We take you to the nation's political capital, where since the official launch of elections campaign on September 27, bike riders have become ever present on the streets in Yaoundé, clad either in colors of parties or their normal clothes. They follow political caravans with enthusiasm, adding colors to the ongoing political campaigns. Let's have more with Beatrice Ngamo.
In sounds and rhythm, they expressed their support to incumbent president and leader of the New Deal, Paul Biya. The support rally, organized by the Association of Hawkers of the Mokolo Market in the company of CPDM officials, aims to spell out their satisfaction with the Biya regime and accompany him in his drive for greatness and hope. No one should stay indoors or away for anything. Biya is the choice of the people, and he's a man of peace. The street vendors have appreciated the efforts made in recognizing their activities and efforts made to guarantee peace and security in Cameroon. On October 12, we are called precisely to come and materialize our support for our candidate, President Paul Biya, and through his manifesto, Great Hope. So we have come to share the message to all. The different CPDM scribes took turn to highlight that a vote for CPDM is a guarantee of stability, national growth, and inclusive development.
That was a rather Bonaventure Atu with that rally that took place in the Mokolo market in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where CPDM militants and sympathizers were rallying and drumming up support for the upcoming presidential election. And in Douala, we equally had the ruling CPDM party that is intensifying campaign just days before the presidential election. This Tuesday morning in Douala, the CPDM Special Campaign Commission held a major rally at remobilizing its base. The gathering that took place at the Bonanjo Party House was led by Jean Kwete, National President of President Paul Biya's campaign team. Jean Kwete emphasized that the white ballots bearing President Biya's image is the party's sole choice come election day on October 12th. Also present were Laurent Esso, head of the Littoral Regional Campaign Commission, and the Douala City Mayor, who happens to be the president of the special campaign team for Douala, Roche Mbasandine. The CPDM continues to push for a strong turnout as the countdown for election day begins. Let's have a listen to one of the deputy mayor of the Douala 3 Council, Vincent Ngambo.
We have just put a hand to the special meeting chairing by the AJ of the Comité Central, Mr. Jean Kwete, the Vice Prime Minister. He came here to synthesize all the militants and comrades to target so that our victory be ensured and confirmed on Sunday. That is special message. From now, we'll be away on everything, every bad messages passing by people of opposing party. So our youth, our women, and even we, the men, we are awake and we are sure we renew our confidence on the chief of the state, and on Sunday, at this time, we'll be voting, but at the end of the day, tonight on Sunday, we will have a new president, which is President Paul Biya, for a new mandate of 7 years.
That was Vincent Ngambo, the fourth deputy mayor of the Douala 3 Council, who is equally a militant of the child election. From varying or verifying ballot papers to finalizing voters list, Elekam say it is on track for a smooth presidential votes on Sunday, October 12, 2025. Let's have the details in this report. The countdown to the presidential election in Cameroon is on. At local branches of Elections Cameroon, Elekam, teams are working around the clock to ensure everything is in place for the presidential elections on October 12. The Douala 1 branch of Elekam, agents are sorting ballot papers by color and carefully inspecting them for quality. Any ballots found with smudges, stains, or unclear images are immediately discarded. Ballot boxes have already been delivered and are now being sorted by polling stations. Voting booths are also equipped and ready for dispatch to their final destinations in the coming days.
Le fait que le matériel soit déjà disponible nous rassure que le 12 octobre prochain, on va pouvoir venir voter sereinement.
C'est déjà très important que ce soit disponible 5 jours avant. 5 jours avant, là, les partis politiques vont savoir comment se préparer. Et nous espérons que tout se passe bien.
In the Douala 2 branch of the electoral body, some voters turned up this morning to consult the official list, hoping to confirm their assigned polling stations. Elekam officials say particular attention is being given to the distribution of voters across polling centers, an issue of interest to the various presidential candidates. The commission has invited them to review the final list to ensure transparency ahead of the poll.
La liste des bureaux de vote pour regarder là où moi je vais voter. Je vais voter à Marais-Gouroti.
Despite the logistical challenges, Elekam maintains confidence that all material from ballot papers to voting kits will be fully in place by election day. And the Association of Street Vendors in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, have pledged to cast their vote for the CPDM presidential candidate. They made the promise today during a rally that took place in the Yaoundé 2 subdivision. They believe that only President Biya can foster peace and development in Cameroon. Let's have the details with our reporter at Bonaventure.
At the Fundi market in Yaoundé, beef stands are almost empty. Most of the sellers have decided to go on voluntary rest due to intensive campaign that is impacting business.
Abandonner pour un bout de temps, patienter pour que le moment s'y passe avant de relancer leurs activités.
The reason they advance is that cattle sellers, due to campaign, have reduced the transportation of cows to the regions, blaming bad roads and others also.
Ils préfèrent un peu patienter après les votes, bon, la marchandise pourrait recommencer.
Par rapport aux élections, c'est par rapport à ça que ça ralentit un peu, mais on attend toujours qu'après les élections, on peut espérer.
This has thus impacted the price of cattle in the market. A cow which before cost around 300 to 350,000 is today at 400,000.
Rien ne passe, les gens ont gardé leur argent, on ne sait pas pourquoi. C'est pour cela que le marché ne passe pas trop comme d'habitude. Peut-être vont sortir ça après.
Parce qu'il n'y a pas de, dans le marché est toujours là, il n'y a pas de changement que comme il y a la campagne, il y a un peu de changement. Non, c'est toujours comme c'était avant.
The few who have decided to stay on business have accepted their faith.
On essaie d'accepter ce qu'ils en ont, les mauvais moments que nous tous nous passions. Donc tout est dur.
The wish of many is to see a return to normal after the presidential election next October 12, 2025.
Thank you. That was rather a report by Beatrice Ngamo on slowdown in business in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, as a result of the ongoing election campaign. And still talking about elections this time around, we are talking about climate. That we are talking about climate in the nation's political capital, especially the climate around the presidential campaign rallies that are ongoing. We have a reporter in the nation's political capital, Hyacinthia, who attended that ceremony and our report.
The call of the climate justice movement is for a just and green future, for the presidential candidate to inscribe the environment and climatic questions at the heart of their society projects. To this, nature conservators hold there is no sustainable development, no national prosperity without a healthy environment and equitable management of natural resources.
It should not just be for formality that a report is presented when a grand project wants to take place, that climatic aspects have been taken into consideration, but they should be actually go to the source and actually meet the most vulnerable persons, who are the women, the youth, and the indigenous persons, especially who are affected.
Moves that goes in line with climate change and equity, education, and others.
Integrate climatic resilience in all national development plans. This as well must include climatic aspects to ensure that we are making strides, not just for the economy, but as well for the climate and the environment where we live in and we depend.
Before the press this October 7 in Yaoundé, the civil society organization, the Movement for Climate Justice, presents their declaration for the presidential hopefuls. Each candidate engages to protect Cameroon's environmental heritage, not just to respond to international demands, but because it is a condition to follow up and the dignity of our people. The indigenous population, especially the forest people, the Center of Nature, on their part, sees the need for better initiatives for the preservation of their resources. Their call on presidential hopefuls include
la reconnaissance juridique du statut des populations
of the status of indigenous through the ratification of ILO Convention number 169 related to indigenous and tribal people.
Aux peuples indigènes et tribaux.
A call on them to adopt a specific law for the indigenous population. The press conference was around the theme Cameroon facing the climate emergency, the movement for climate justice demand to country's leaders.
And the Front for National Salvation of Cameroon, FSNC, continues its mobilization in the grassroots party. Chiruma Bakary. With just days to the October vote, the FSNC is reinforcing its presence and actually clearing all doubts. Let's have more with Morindi.
The campaign teams for the Front of National Salvation of Cameroon made their way to Mondang and neighborhoods in the Gandariwan subdivision. The area is hard to access. Travel is quicker on foot or by motorbike, but that didn't deter the teams from engaging directly with residents. In this small corner of the city, an impromptu meeting allowed the team to present the political agenda of Issa Chiruma Bakary, the FSNC presidential candidate. Later in the day, FSNC regional leaders were expected in Bichul for a scheduled rally. Party members, supporters and sympathizers say they are fully mobilized and committed to securing victory for their leader on October 12.
Inch'Allah, le 12 octobre, nous serons à étudier.
The FSNC is now placing emphasis on voter registration, showcasing voters' cards and electoral materials to dispel rumors that its layouts are made up of people who are not registered to vote.
Thank you so much, Morindi. We move away from politics this time. We talk about social issues. We have workers of the Cameroon Shipyard and Engineering Company, known in French as Chantier Naval, who were out this morning protesting and demanding 18 months of unpaid salaries. The protest march or protest demonstration that comes just a couple of days before the presidential election highlights the distress of hundreds of families across the country. Let's have more with Morindi once again.
Draped in black, a symbol of both anger and hope, dozens of employees of the Cameroon shipyards gathered Tuesday in Douala to sing the national anthem and denounce their dire living conditions and 18 months of unpaid wages. For these workers, every day on the job now counts, now comes with uncertainty, crushing dirt and fading hope. Many can no longer afford to educate their children or cover basic family needs.
Nous avons arrêté le travail depuis une semaine déjà, une semaine, 2 jours que nous ne travaillons pas.
Aux concitoyens que nous sommes, nous n'arrivons plus à satisfaire nos besoins de base.
With the October 12 presidential election just days away, the protesters hold up their voters' cards as a symbol of hope, pleading for direct intervention from candidate Paul Biya to resolve the crisis. Their demands are clear the salary arrears, revive the company's operations, and initiate genuine social dialogue.
Le mouvement que nous avons lancé aujourd'hui pour la famine, ça fait c'est le 13e jour. Nous avons mis sur la table des revendications, à savoir 18 mois de salaire, les indemnités de fin de carrière des retraités et les indemnités des décédés.
It's another strike, but possibly one too many. If nothing changes, a crucial sector of the national industry may collapse, taking down with it the livelihoods and morale of hundreds of struggling families.
And we take you to the south region of Cameroon, precisely in Kribi, where a young firefighter has died after being swept away by fast-moving water of the Cliquez River. The reports say he was found yesterday, Monday, 3 days after he drowned. Let's have more in this report.
It is a tragic end to what began as a routine day for 24-year-old Ali, a young trainee at the National Firefighter Training Center in Kribi in the South region. Ali was last seen on Friday, October 3, reportedly near the banks of the Cliquez River. According to eyewitnesses, he was caught by a sudden surge of water and then disappeared. For days, his families, colleagues, and rescue teams waited, hoping for a miracle. But on Monday, that hope turned to heartbreak. Ali's body was found trapped between rocks. His remains were retrieved by a special rescue team and immediately transported for burial in line with Muslim rites. His family, overwhelmed with grief asked that no images of him be shared publicly. The Kinky River, which flows through Kribi from east to west, is a known danger spot, particularly during the rainy season. Rising water levels and strong currents make it unsafe for swimming and other activities, a warning that locals say often goes unheeded. That is not the first tragedy in the area. Around the same time last year, 2 teenagers drowned in similar circumstances while swimming in the same river.
And that is how we saw it for the 6:15 primetime newscast in the English language on Canal International. It is a pleasure knowing you're watching the news, but don't go away because we have other editions of the news where you have more and updates on information that have been given you all through the day. But then up next we have electoral, the campaign or the daily campaign program that comes up with Le Pigeot. Have a good evening.